Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up. And we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
And he finds his tight end, Graham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And now out comes Minnesota. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
A first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. To throw is Rodgers. They right on cue. They set up the screen and complete it. They'll get nothing out of the completion there, and it leads to a 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
Fielded just inside the 20. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Allen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
To throw, it's Allen. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Going deep here for Bryant. It's caught at the 10. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 62 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking out some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Martavis Bryant and the offense getting set to go again here. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 for Minnesota. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this 1st quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
And McManus able to put it through, and that will knot us up at 10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now out comes Minnesota. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. Missed.
It will not go down. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big run there by Johnson. 51 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 10-10 is the score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Handoff comes to Cook. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go now.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Elliott puts this one through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
319.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. All on 360. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And incomplete. A disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. That's where those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. So they have the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now let's go.
On third and long, it's Allen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
319! Give to Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
319! 319!
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. It's caught. Jones. And he's got this down to the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Rodgers going to throw. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Jones. A good display of footwork. It gets him just inside the 5 to the 4. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They get it to him running left, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing now is Rodgers. And he checks this one down to Williams. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back.
Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
A give. This is Cook fighting him off. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down, and he whips that one incomplete there.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Allen now looks to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play for the Vikings on 3rd down. And even 40 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
To the air, Allen to the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Allen again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And on the stop, DeMonte Casey. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
158.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He completes it to Bryant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. On first down, Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
319.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. And he can't quite corral it defensively. Maybe some space to go the other direction if he had caught it. That brings up 4th down now. 31 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. Now they go screen. It's complete. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved. You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. To throw, it's Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And McManus able to put it through. So a very even game as we come to halftime. 16 all our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll get this started up in Orchard Park, an AFC's matchup with the Jets in town to take on Buffalo. And it is the Jets who have the lead in that one. Sam Darnold has a couple of touchdown passes. Next, we head off to check out another game. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. A touchdown there for Alvin Kamara. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Christian McCaffrey has a touchdown there. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing.
All right, here we go.
Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll go option to the short side. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a tempo program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
A nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said. And he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys did not play offense.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Again, it's to Jones. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. His pass caught at the 4. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And McManus able to put it through. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
On second down, Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4. Now Allen got his man complete over the middle. It's McKenzie. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
On first down, Allen underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. 3,
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here we go now. Green.
They go play action here on first down. This is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Duke Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will make this a 4-point game. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. They also have to remember.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to. So
the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. After the penalty is Jones. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
319.
They'll go again to Jones. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
319.
On play action, now Rodgers. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
319.
This is Jones. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Left side, Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Here we go now.
Throwing is Allen on third. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Buying time to his left. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. On 2nd down, Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And that is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. This is brought in at the 21. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers going up top. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Linval Joseph in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now Allen throwing on second down. Screen play, Johnson. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And now the Packers get set to go.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
319.
Rodgers will try again on second down. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They run it again with Cook. And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
All right, here we go.
Here's Allen to throw it. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And got his man complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Antonio Callaway, 82 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sideline? Do you see the coaches signaling? All the personnel groups up on the sideline ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Going deep here for Bryant. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Rodgers to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Rodgers again now. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up fourth.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
319.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And he comes back with one complete. Fights through and now a crease. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
319.
On first down, Rodgers. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
319.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
319.
Rodgers to throw once more. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
319.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rodgers now on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Malcolm Mitchell out of the University of Georgia was the intended receiver. And it's second down. Rodgers throwing again. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And again, it's Rodgers. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Pass incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Rodgers to throw on second down. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Now Rodgers. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 40th. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Red 38.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. The return of Cook, a big boost to this Viking offense. Here's 1st and 10. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
And there it is, the standard symbol. Taking a knee means that one team won and the other one obviously lost the ball game. But now that team that won is 2-2. After the first 4 games, I think they're okay with a 2-2 start. Not overly happy, but at the same time not depressed either.
You mentioned to me breaking down a season in quadrants. So the first quadrant is kind of a check, as you said, for okay. Not great, not bad.
Yeah, right now they're just holding serve. They look forward to their next 4. Maybe they can make a surge there.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.